Hi all, welcome back to my channel. This will be our 25th video in React Redux series. In our previous session, we have understood what is prop and also we have seen how to pass the store to all the components. Now in this session, we are going to see the most important topic, that is connect function in Redux. So this connect function will be connecting a React component to a Redux store. Previously, we have passed our store to all the components. So now using this connect function, we are going to connect our React components to a Redux store. So we will be having multiple components inside our application. Now I just want to connect that applications to our Redux store. That can be performed using this connect function, and it provides its connected component with the pieces of data it needs from the store. Suppose one component needs only name, one component needs only email. So after connecting our components to store, we can get different data from the store, and that can be supplied to different components. And the functions it can use to dispatch actions to the store. So whatever dispatch I want to do, that can also be performed in separate components. And based on their requirement, we can perform those dispatch. And also it does not modify the component class passed to it. Instead, what it will be doing, it will be returning a new connected component class that is going to wrap the component we have passed in. So if you're not understanding these definitions, don't worry. Practically when we see, you will understand about this connect function. So now this connect function will be accepting four parameters: mapStateToProps, which will be a function, mapDispatchToProps, mergeProps, and options. As of now, we have just created a simple project, so we are not going to focus much on mergeProps and options. Later when we make big project, we are going to work on all these four parameters. As of now, just focus only on mapStateToProps and mapDispatchToProps. Practically, we are going to understand about connect function, and also practically we are going to understand about these two parameters. I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Previously, we have seen how to provide a store to all the components in our application. Now in this section, what we are going to do, we are going to get hold of Redux state and how we can dispatch an action with React component. So this is a React component we have created, book container.js. Now inside this book container itself, I have to display how many books I am having inside the library, and also based on the clicks, based on the borrow book or based on the return book, I have to increase the number of books inside the library. So I need one button, and in that button we are going to pass on click events. So number of books is a part of Redux state, and also whatever actions I want to dispatch, that we are going to perform. Number of books is a part of Redux state. Now we are going to see how to get that data inside our React components. So now we are just going to get the result. First, we are going to create a new function, that is our mapStateToProps. After this book container function, I will come down. I will write one comment, mapStateToProps. You can give whatever name you want, but this is the standard everybody follows. So you can give the same name, const mapStateToProps is equal to, it is going to take state as its parameter, and it is going to return the object. I will just write here return, and what it is going to return, it is going to return an object. What we have done, we have created a new function called mapStateToProps, and we have passed state as its parameter, and this function is going to return an object. As of now, in this project, let me come to bookreducer.js. we have only one property, that is number of books. So we do not have multiple data inside this. We are having only one property. So this is very simple project we are going to make. So we are not going to add extra things inside this mapStateToProps. As of now, I need only one property. So I'm just going to give my property name as number of books. You can give whatever name you want. And this property will be having the value state dot number of books. I'll come to book reducer. I'm just going to copy this and here I will be pasting. Let me remove semicolon. I will be giving comma. So what this function has done, it has taken state as its parameter. As of now, I am having only one property, that is number of books. So I'm just writing here whatever name you want you can write. But this state dot number of books, it is pointing to our state property. So now people who are little bit aware of Redux, you would be thinking why we are not using here selectors. As I mentioned, this is a very simple project and we have only one property inside the state. So to access that, we have directly returned this one. So what selectors will be doing, they will be getting extra information from the Redux store, and based on the actions or based on the dispatch, it is going to return the result. So what selectors will be doing, it is going to get extra information from the Redux store. As of now, we have only one property, number of books. So we are not going to use selector. But if you are working on bigger project, then selectors are very, very important. Later on, when we work on big project, then we are going to use selectors as well. So in larger applications, we might perform some data transformation and then select only the data which is required to our application. So what selectors will be doing? It is going to extract the data and just maintain inside the separate file. So as of now, we have only one line of code. We are not going to use selectors. Later on, we are going to work on selectors as well. So this is all about mapStateToProps. Next, we are going to work on mapDispatchToProps. We have completed mapStateToProps. Now using this, we can get number of books present inside the library. Now we are going to create one more function. Using that function, we can dispatch action in our components. I will just write one comment. I will write map dispatch. Whatever name you want, you can give. But this is the standard everybody follows. So we are going to follow the same thing. Const map dispatch to props. And this function will be taking dispatch method as its parameter. I will be writing dispatch. EATCH. And also the same way how mapStateToProps returns an object, in the same way this mapDispatchToProps also returns an object. I will just write here arrow function, and inside this we are just going to return our object, return object. So in our mapStateToProps, we had only one property, number of books, to get how many books are present inside the library. So in the same way, inside book actions, only one action we are having. So we are going to pass only one property, borrow book. For this, whatever name you want, you can give. This will be equal to function which will be dispatching this borrow book action. This entire borrow book action it is going to dispatch. Dispatch. And inside this dispatch, we are just going to pass this borrow book. I will copy. And here I am just going to paste. And I am just going to give parenthesis. So we are just calling this out. So inside this, we are having this type. So we are just calling out this function. So we are just going to pass the parenthesis. So using this mapStateToProps, we are just going to get this initial state, whatever we are having. And using this mapDispatchToProps, we are just getting this action. Whatever action I want to dispatch, I am just calling that action here. So as soon as I give this property, this action will be dispatched. Here we are using our action creator, but we have to import it here. Unless and until we import, we cannot use this one. So what I will do, inside this Redux library, I'm just going to create one file, index.js. Inside this index.js, I'm just going to export my borrow book. I will write here export borrow book from my borrow book is present inside this borrow book. It is present inside book actions. So I'm just going to export this one. Now here I'm just going to import it. Import borrow book from Redux library. As we have given inside index.js, so we don't have to mention the file name. Directly it will be taking borrow book from index.js. I will save this. Let me come to my output. Okay, here I am having one error. Export borrow book was not found in book actions. Okay, I have not exported here. Let me come to book actions. Now inside this, I'm just going to export this one. So whenever we are writing, we are just directly exporting this. I will come. Now I am having my result. What we have done, we have just called this borrow book. So to import that, I have just created another file. Now you will be having a question, why directly from book actions we have not done? Now here let me just write book actions. Book actions. I will save this. I will come here. Again I am going to get the result. So whatever you feel that is comfortable, you can just do that. I will just write this. Because if we are having multiple exports, multiple imports, we can directly store inside index.js and we can directly get it whenever we need it. So multiple times we do not have to mention the file name. Directly we can get from the main source. Now final step what we are going to do, now we are going to connect this function. So for that we are going to use connect function, and inside connect function we will be passing this to function as its parameter. So instead of exporting our book container, I will remove this. I will just write here export default our connect function. Now inside this connect function, I'm going to pass this to function as its parameter, mapStateToProps, comma, and mapDispatchToProps. This two function we are just going to pass as its parameter, and after this we are just going to pass our book container. So inside another parenthesis, we will be passing this book container. Now I have used the connect function, but I have not imported that connect function. So I will be getting this error. Connect is not defined. So I will come. Connect will be provided by React Redux package. I will come. I will just import connect from React Redux. Let me just give here small letter. As soon as you hit enter, you will be getting from which package we are having this data. As soon as you hit enter, you will get to know which package is providing this function. Now we have imported our connect function, and also we have defined the connect function, which will be taking two parameters, mapStateToProps and mapDispatchToProps. And in which component we are passing? We are passing inside this book container. Now I'll come here. Now I do not have any error, which means I am successfully able to connect Redux store to my React components. Okay, this is my component. I am successfully able to connect it. Now here what I will do, I will just come down. I will give one break tag h2. Inside this, I have to display number of books present inside my library. So I'm just going to pass props here. Using props, we will be getting the data. Let me just display log props. Save this. I will inspect this one. Console. Inside this, you can see I am having number of books, and also I am having this borrow book function. Because of this connect, we got our number of books, and also we have got our action. Now only thing is we just have to dispatch that. In our previous session, we have already seen prop is an object. So to access this number of books, we have to write props dot number of books. For borrow book, props dot borrow book. I will come and here let me just write number of books present inside library colon. We are going to write JSX. So we have to write here curly braces props dot number of books. I will save this. Now as soon as I come, you can see number of books present inside the library is 100. Because our initial state, book reducer, our initial state is 100 and inside this I am having 100 books. If I give here 200, I will come. Now you can see number of books is changed to 200. So this is how we are just going to get the result. Now inside this console also number of books is changed to 200. Again I will come to book container.js. Now below this I just want to display the button so that whenever I click on the button, my action should be dispatched. Action creator we have created as borrow book. Inside this we have type borrow book. And whenever we call this type borrow book, our number of books should be reduced by 1. So here I'm just going to create one BR button. Let me just write here borrow book. Save. Come here. Now here I'm having one button. I will just give here on click because whenever I click on this, I just have to call this function. Again, I will be writing props dot borrow book. I will save this. While giving this props dot borrow book, I do not have to give parenthesis because this entire function will be the value inside this borrow book. So this is the property we are going to call here. So this and this should be exactly matching. Now if I write here book borrow book 1, here also I have to pass borrow book 1. If I do not pass borrow book 1, let me save and show you. I will save, I will remove this, save. I will come here. Now when I click on this, it is not going to reduce. You can see I'm not going to get the result. I will come. Let me just remove 1 from here. And also we do not have here anything. I will save. Let me just refresh once. Now when I click on this, you can see number of books are getting reduced by 1. I will inspect. In my console also, you can see I will be having multiple objects. Based on the button click, I will be getting the number of books which will be reduced by 1. 186. Okay, you can see all the books will be reduced by 1. So I hope you are clear with this mapStateToProps and mapDispatchToProps. Let us revise whatever we have done. Previously in our app.js, we have already passed Redux store. So after passing a store, what we want to access the state in all the components, in all the React components. So we are going to define mapStateToProps function using which we can get access to the state properties. As of now, we are not going to use selectors, and using this mapDispatchToProps, we will be getting access to the actions. And using this mapDispatchToProps, we will be passing dispatch method as its parameter. And using this, we are allowing our action creator to map to our components. And all this getting the data from the state and dispatching the action is possible because of this connect function, which is provided by React Redux package. Now what this connect function will be doing, it is going to connect the React component to the Redux store. This is our component and we have just connected to our Redux store. So in this example, what we are connecting our book container to the Redux store so that whatever data we are having inside the store, that we can easily access inside this component. Similar pattern you are going to follow in all the projects, mapStateToProps, mapDispatchToProps. Using connect function, we are connecting components to the Redux store. So each and every project, you will be following the same pattern. Practice this pattern again and again so that you can master this pattern, and in whichever application or in whichever project you want it, you can easily use this pattern. Next session, we are going to continue with new topic.